It's vague, but it's slowly coming back to me. But if it's all true, then Hey, Tara-san. Nami looked at me, her eyes pleading for help. What am I going to do? I think that mummy is either my mother or my older sister. Hey, what should I do? I didn't know what to say. Nami cast her face down and started shaking. Maybe I did something that can't be undone. Something that can't be undone? Like what? I can't remember yet, but I did something. I did something to my older sister. But I can't remember what it is yet. That mummy. I have to find the mummy. Nami wandered over to the hall. I said to her, Okay, Nami, I'll help you. We'll go and look for that mummy again together. Okay, Nami, I'll help you. We'll go and look for that mummy again together. Nami and I left the piano room. The hall was quiet, like nothing had happened. We should probably check the second floor, huh? I slowly climbed the stairs. There was no way that any of what Nami said could be true. Finding her own name and all the weird things going on around the place must have confused her. If we didn't find anything after a lap of the house, then we'd rest on the sofa. We'd no doubt laugh about it all tomorrow. So, which room should we search first? I turned around when we reached the second floor hall. Huh? Nami wasn't there. Where did I lose her? She was just behind me. Maybe she went ahead. I looked down the end of the hall. Maybe she went ahead. I looked down the end of the hall. The door to the room we saw the mummy in earlier was ajar, and a light shone inside. I approached it. The door was open. Nami? Or perhaps someone else. I swallowed and waited for someone to come out. It was Nami. Relieved, I called out, Nami, you worried... Suddenly Nami raised her arm, brandishing something, and a silver light sparkled as it came down towards my head. Ooh! I dodged it just in time, and Nami stumbled after me, carried by the momentum of her swing. She was holding a wrench. What are you doing? Nami! I screamed, but when Nami regained her composure, she swung the wrench at my head with even more force. Her face contorted like a demon. Stop! I grabbed her hands above my head, but she was stronger than I thought. For a brief moment, we continued to struggle above my head. But she was still a girl. Just as she was about to lose to me, she suddenly threw the wrench she was holding at my head. Ah! It hit me right in the head. I cowered and grabbed my head, and Nami took off running down the hall. Ow, 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 ow. I nervously touched the sore spot. It was swollen, but thankfully not bleeding. What on earth? I looked at the floor and saw a single Polaroid photo alongside the wrench. She must have dropped it when we were struggling. I picked it up and saw Nami and myself in the photo, taken from somewhere in the distance. When did... I picked up the wrench. The handle was wrapped in masking tape, and the word Tara was written on it. This is mine. No doubt about it, it was from the toolbox in my car. I remembered the accident. The fact that someone had this wrench meant that someone had been in my car. There was a large chance that that same person had messed with the brakes. It couldn't be Nami. No, there was no way. Nami was also a victim of the accident. We both nearly lost our lives in it. Plus, Nami was in that photo, which she wouldn't be if she had taken it. So, why does Nami have this then? And why did she suddenly attack me like that? Anyway, I need to find her. I ran down the hall in the direction Nami went. A noise came from a nearby room. I flung the door to it open. Ah, Nami. Nami was standing in front of a desk in the left-hand corner of the room, reading what looked like a small notebook. When I entered the room, she slowly turned to look at me. Tara-san? Nami, what were you doing before? Hey, look at this. Nami handed me the notebook that she'd been reading. She looked troubled. Losing my chance to ask what had happened earlier, I did as I was told and took the book. It was a mother-child health handbook. Looking inside, the name Nami was written in it. And this one. Nami handed me another one. This one said Naomi. The birth date for both was the same day and same year. Twins? I knew it. I knew it. Nami said, her voice stiff, then covered her face with both hands and ran from the room. I was so shocked that all I could do was stare into space. So like Nami said, she really did used to live here, and the part about her older sister was true as well? So then, that girl before wasn't Nami, but her older sister, Naomi? If they were twins, then it made sense that they'd look alike. But why? Why did Nami's sister mess with my car and attack me? Did she have some sort of grudge against us? Come to think of it, I remembered the incident in the bathroom. That was probably Naomi's work. I didn't know why she hated us, but at any rate, there was no denying that she was trying to hurt us. I grew worried for Nami's safety. Nami! When I entered the hallway, the end door was closed. That had to be Naomi's room. I made my way towards it. But when I looked at the ground, wet footsteps led to another room, followed by the sound of a piano. What on earth was Nami? I followed the wet footsteps. They led to the room where we first saw the mummy. I could hear a voice inside. Holding my breath, I peeked inside the room through the keyhole. There were 2 Namis. One was passed out on the floor, and the other stood above her, wearing a white dress and dripping wet. But they both had the same face. The one on the floor was wearing Nami's clothes from earlier. So the one in the white dress was Naomi? The woman who looked just like Nami screamed while threatening her with a knife. "You're coming with our brother and me." Brother? She had a brother as well? But there was no time to stop and think about it. Naomi started approaching her with the knife. "Stop!" I ran into the room and grabbed for the knife in her hand. "Stay out of my way." "You're Naomi, right? Why are you attacking your own sister?" It's got nothing to do with you. She resisted me, but when I grabbed the knife away, she fled out the open door and into the hall. Nami, are you okay? Tara-san. Her voice trembled. Was that Naomi just now? Your older sister? Why did she attack you with a knife? What's this about a younger brother? You have a brother as well? I was on edge, but Nami looked at me with sad eyes. Are you hurt? I'm okay. Thank you. If you hadn't come, I don't know what would have happened to me. Of course. But more importantly, was that Naomi? That's what she said. I'm your older sister. I was so shocked that... What's this about a brother? I don't know. I don't know anything, she said in a choked voice. It's okay. Don't push yourself to remember too much. There was a book on the floor. It was a diary. Inside, it spoke of Naomi's struggle to look after their sick younger brother all by herself after their mother died. I'm scared to sleep. When I wake up, will Naoki be dead? If he dies... When I think about it, my chest hurts. I'll truly be all alone. But he's in so much pain. His screams. If I never get any better, then perhaps I should just die. I can't do anything while alive. Big sis, kill me. Please, let me rest. Kill me. Ah, Naoki. I should have been the one to fall ill. There's no point for me to go on either with these horrific burns. Why must Naoki die and I continue living on without him? Naoki. Nami's voice choked up again when she started talking. That person, Naomi-san. Until you got here, she was reading this to me. Do you know how much pain I've been in while you were gone? And do you know how much our brother wanted to see you before he died? But I don't know anything about that. She said the three of us were together in the past, but I don't remember a brother. But her burns are my fault. I caused that fire. Don't blame yourself for that. Nothing's clear yet, and even if it was you, you were only a kid. But... I grabbed her shoulders and opened the diary to the last page. Leave me in my ocean. When I die, leave my body in my ocean. This was Naoki's will. I did as he said. Now I really am all alone. The diary ended there. What does he mean by my ocean? Then I realized something. Nami, your younger brother might still be alive. Eh? The mummy's eyes, didn't they look similar to yours? Me? The mummy's eyes? At first I thought that might have been Naomi, but maybe your brother has turned into that mummy. But the diary says he died. I locked eyes with Naomi before, when she was brandishing the knife, but they weren't the eyes of a sane person. She might think he's dead, but in reality, he could still be alive. Nami, there's still one room on the second floor that we haven't been into yet, right? Ah, that locked room. We might understand more if we go there. I made my way towards the exit. Wait, I'm coming too. Are you okay? You should stay in here and lock the door. No, I'm going. After all, it's my problem. It's my family problem, Nami said resolutely. She wasn't crying anymore. Okay, let's go together. The door to the room in question was shut. No doubt it was still locked. I grabbed the doorknob. Oh! The back of my head suddenly hurt like mad. Then I passed out. When I opened my eyes, first thing I saw was the red carpet of the hall. Ugh! My head still hurt. I went to grab my head with my right hand when I realized I couldn't move. I was tied to a wheelchair. Damn it! I wiggled, trying to free myself from the ropes. Ah, you're awake. I heard a voice from behind. Is that you, Nami? Untie me. I turned to look around, but I couldn't see who it was. Well then, let's go. The girl behind me started pushing the chair. Nami? Nami, is that you? Her voice was the same, but was it Naomi? I was lonely. I was so lonely. But you don't get it, do you? Because you forgot about us entirely. It wasn't Nami. So where was she then? Poor Naoki. He went through so much pain, and in the end he was skin and bones. And even so, right until the end, his dream was for the three of us to live together. But you never came. What was she talking about? And where was she taking me? Even after Naoki died, you didn't come. I hated you. The fire that you started was the cause of all of this. It seemed she had mistaken me for Nami. I fished around in my pocket with my free hand for my lighter. The wheelchair slowly proceeded down the second-floor hall. Our father died in that fire you started as a child, and our mother fell ill from the shock. And my forehead. Naomi hesitated for a moment. But as long as Naoki was okay, then it was fine. And I didn't know that you were the one behind it all. A flame burst out of the lighter. I passed it over the ropes. I read our mother's diary after she died. That's when I discovered the truth. That was around the same time that Naoki started to get worse. Her voice started to tremble, and the wheelchair stopped. We were right in front of the stairs. Suddenly, she screamed, "You need to atone for what you've done! You killed our father, our mother withdrew from the world, and then Naoki died from a mysterious illness. And me, the last one left, covered in giant burn scars. These scars that still won't go away. Until the day he died, Naoki wanted to see you again. Well then, now is the time of your atonement. Let's go and see Naoki. I'll let you hear from Naoki himself just how much we've suffered until now. Come, you and I will both go together to Naoki's ocean." The ropes finally broke. My upper body was free, but my legs were still tied. I turned around. "Where did you take Nami?" The woman with Nami's face looked up towards the roof with a fearsome expression. "I don't know what terrible things happened to you, but that's all in the past. Nami is innocent of all that now." Who are you? It doesn't matter. Where is Nami? It has nothing to do with you. She shoved the wheelchair. Wah! I tumbled down the stairs with the chair. My entire body landed with a thud. I looked upstairs, but she was already gone. Quickly, I have to find Nami quickly. I untied the ropes by my feet and stood up, pushing through the pain. I crawled back up the stairs and found a key fallen on the ground. This has gotta be. I made my way towards the room I tried to enter before getting knocked out. If she'd mistaken me for Nami, then that meant that Nami should still be alive. Nami, I'm coming. I'll save you. I stood before the locked room. The nails that had been keeping it shut had all been pulled out. I put the key into the hole. It opened. I opened the door. What a dreadful room. Was this the remains of the fire that Naomi spoke about? Everything had been burnt. All 4 walls were black, and the roof had a large hole in it. The carpet was completely charred. A wind blew in through the broken windows. There was no sign of Nami. Maybe Naomi moved her. In the middle of the room, the mummy we saw when we entered the house was sitting in a chair. This was Nami's mother. The diary I'd read before I passed out was open on her lap. Something had been added to the last page. Mother, I'll be taking Nami to see Naoki now. To see Naoki? Where? The words written in that will suddenly popped into my mind. Leave my body in my ocean. The fish tank! Then the room shook alongside a loud bang. What's happening? I panicked and ran into the hall. I could hear the sound of water downstairs. I ran to the stairs and looked down, only to see a figure running away. I ran down the stairs. Another explosion went off. The end of the hall was bright. It appeared that there was a fire in the basement boiler room. But there was no time for that. I ran to the fish tank, and rubbing my forehead, I peered inside. Nami's face wavered in the dirty water. Nami! I banged on the tank with both hands, but it didn't budge. I grabbed the axe hanging on the nearby wall. Breaking the glass, black water went everywhere, and Nami came tumbling out alongside a white skeleton. I placed my ear to her mouth. She wasn't breathing. I pressed my hands against her chest, but she didn't move. Nami, no! I pushed down harder. Muddy black water spurted out of her mouth. But it wasn't like someone spitting the water out of their own free will, but more like pushing against a pump. Nami! I continued pushing down on her chest like a madman. The flow of water from her mouth slowed, and then finally stopped. Nami, I'm gonna kiss you, so open your eyes. Holding her head, I began CPR. Her lips were cold. I took a deep breath and blew the air into Nami's lungs. Yet her body remained cold and showed no signs of change. Nami, you can't. You're not dead. I won't let you be. Come on, please, open your eyes. I lifted her upper body and shook her shoulders with all my might. Nami shook like a doll, with no resistance. Ha ha, I get it. I smiled at her. You're just keeping your eyes shut. You're always making fun of me like that. You're always tricking me. And when I start crying, you'll fling them open, right? Then you'll laugh because you got me. Well, you're not gonna get me this time. See? I'm putting you down now. I let go of her shoulders. She dropped to the ground like a machine. No way. Nami? No way. You're always fooling me. Come on, just do it again. One more time. See? I'm crying, aren't I? You got me already. You can laugh already now. Nami didn't even budge. The white bones scattered on the floor came into view through my tears. I don't know anything about this brother, but why did you have to die? God damn it! I stood up and kicked one of the bones. It bounced off the wall and hit the skull on the floor. This skull. Sharp fangs lined the long jaw. This isn't a human skull. It was a dog's skull or something. No way. Did that mean that there never was any brother? It was all a fantasy world that the lonely Naomi had made up? I looked down at Nami's cold face. Why? Why did you have to die for that? Damn it! I'll kill her! I stood and ran towards the hall. But the fire had spread, and I couldn't take another step closer to the bathroom and onward. I opened the dining room door. Nobody there. I opened the study door. Nobody there. I opened the piano hall door. Nobody there. I went upstairs. But the fire had already reached there too, and I couldn't go down the hall. I'll have to carry Nami out. I looked downstairs from the second floor. My eyes froze. Nami was gone. Did she come back to life? For a moment I was filled with joy. But then another idea popped into my head. Did that woman snatch her dead body away? No, there's no way. She must have come back to life. And when she saw the fire, she ran. I went down the stairs, trying to convince myself of that. The front door wouldn't open. Damn it! Then maybe the back door. But the flames had already set the entire front hall alight. There was nowhere to run. Smoke and a hot wind blew over me. Was I really going to burn to death here? No, Nami is alive. There's no way I can die here. Suddenly a cold breeze brushed past my cheek. I turned in the direction it came from. There was a large open hole beyond the fireplace. The wind was coming from there. The walls started crumbling. I dove into the fireplace. A narrow tunnel I could pass through by stooping led out of the fireplace. I couldn't see anything in the darkness, but it had to be a way out. Fumbling my way along the walls, I followed it out. Maybe Nami also escaped through here. Maybe she played here as a child, and then she remembered it. I imagined Nami ahead of me, stooped like myself, and called out in the darkness. Nami? No answer. No, she's gotta be here. She's gotta be up ahead. The tunnel slowly descended down, and then a short while later started to ascend, and then suddenly I found myself in front of some yellow flowers. I was behind the greenhouse. It leads here. I looked at the mansion, and the fire had already claimed the second floor, flames bursting out the broken windows. Ah! I saw a figure trying to enter the mansion through the back door. It couldn't be Nami. Panicked, I ran over, but I tripped over something. Nami was on the ground. But even after I hit her with my foot, she didn't budge. This was Nami. "Hey, get it together." I pressed my ear to her chest. No movement. "No, I heard something." I listened closer. I couldn't hear anything. "No, that can't be. She moved just now. I heard it." I started pressing on her chest with both hands. "Nami, hurry up and open your eyes. Wake up already." I spoke to her gently. "Nami, it's time to go home now. You gotta wake up." There was no answer. "Nami, what are you doing? I'm gonna leave you here if you don't get up." I pushed down harder on her chest. "We came this far, didn't we? So why are you giving up now? Hurry up and wake up." But there was no response. I kept pushing down on her chest like a madman. "Nami! Nami!" But it was no good. By the time I realized it, I was only pressing limply down on her chest. "Nami, why did this have to happen? Why?" I buried my face in her chest. "Eh?" I hurriedly pressed my ear to it. "Nami." Her heart was beating. "Nami!" I started pushing down on her chest again. The movement of her chest gradually grew stronger, and color finally began returning to her face. I screamed, "Nami!" Ugh. A breath escaped her lips, and her eyelashes slowly moved. "Tara-san." "Nami!" I hugged her. "Thank God, Nami." What happened?" "Don't worry about it. You're okay now," I cried. "Ah, I remember. Naomi, my sister." Nami turned towards the burning mansion. "It's on fire." "No way." Her face clouded over. "There's nothing we can do now. It took all I had just to help you." "And my brother?" "My brother Naoki." "No, Nami. You never had a brother. That was all in Naomi's imagination. He never existed to begin with." "Her imagination?" "That's right. She was so lonely that she made it up. The bones that Naomi said were his were just a dog's." "No way." Then a crazed scream erupted from the mansion. "Naoki! Naoki! My sister!" "You can't. It's already too late." I held Nami back as she tried to run towards the mansion. "Naoki!" The very next moment, the mansion began to collapse, and Naomi's screams echoed into the night. The crumbling of the mansion was a dreadful sight. The roof collapsed before our eyes, and then the stone walls fell. It was as though Naomi's hatred was the only thing holding the old place together. And now, that hatred, alongside Naomi, was being sealed inside the crumbling house. "Sister!" Nami fell to her knees on the ground. Tears fell from her eyes. A single Otogirisou flower wavered by Nami's face in the light of the burning mansion.